Hey Leo, it's Jen here. I'm sorry, I've been sick. Um, so I was just doing your reading and getting your cards out, and I had a coughing fit. So I don't know why I'm still shuffling. So I haven't looked at the cards yet, but they are out. So this is a reading. Welcome, Leo, for July. And around July 9th, depending on where you are in the world, there's a new moon in the sign of Cancer. And July 23rd, a full moon in Aquarius. And then we move into Leo season. So happy birthday to any of my July Leos watching. I hope you have a wonderful birthday. So we have that new moon in Cancer. So Cancer is a cardinal water sign. So they usher our cardinal signs. Cancer is ushering in summer, at least in the northern hemisphere. So let's move forward in emotions. Let's either allow ourselves to be open to new emotions, new relationships, or allow us to lean in more to go deeper into a current relationship, or even move on. Maybe there had been a breakup, and it's like, okay, it's time to shift direction, to move forward, to stop looking back at something. Let's see what we have for cards. Ten of Wands. Yeah, so letting the Ten of Wands, we've become overburdened. We've been carrying around or hanging on to something for too long, right? This is baggage. Um, um, so the Ten of Wands, or taking on too many responsibilities that really, uh, if we were to look at them, aren't even ours. We've just overloaded ourselves. But for me, it's really feeling like for Leo. And Leo is a fixed sign, so sometimes we can get stuck a little bit more than we'd like. So not to stay stuck in the past, reliving the past, going over something in the past and allowing it to continue to negatively influence us. It's like carrying resentment that doesn't benefit us. That's a low vibration. Whereas if we can process it and move on and just keep the wisdom and the lesson of the situation and sort of allow those negative feelings to go away. You know, our memory still knows that shit went down that wasn't cool, but we don't have to keep reliving those negative things. So lightening our load, like not continuing to carry so much baggage, could literally mean that you're going to be decluttering and getting rid of things. So maybe you are moving, as she looks like she's moving in this card, that you're really downsizing, decluttering, um, donating or selling stuff and getting rid of stuff. And it may be very cathartic. Maybe you have a shoebox full of old memories from an ex and you're like, what am I doing here? Like, why am I hanging on to this? They're not coming back. And would I really want them to at this point? Like sometimes you have to phrase it that way too. Like, wait, if I do it, is it the concept and the idea that went around that relationship that I was in a relationship, or maybe it started out great but didn't have the ability to last. Um, and it allows you to sort of let things go. I almost see you sort of smiling and laughing at like, what am I doing here? But you don't want to throw away too many things like about, I just was given yesterday or the day before a box of that I had forgotten completely about. It must have been from college. And I found all these old letters that I didn't even remember, from friends and things like that. And that was really fun. Three of Swords. Yeah, this is heartache. It is time to move on, and this isn't to be callous and say, you obviously you need to take the time to process and grieve and deal with things. But for me, the Three of Swords is about the mind, thoughts. It's not a Cups card. It's not a card of emotions, and this shows like a broken heart. But there's something about it if you think of jealousy, jealousy to me is in the mind, because you can feel jealous about an ex, but after a little bit of time and perspective, or not even a lot, depending on what happened, it could be just one situation, and you're like, I'm done. Um, and you no longer feel any jealousy towards that person. To me, that's because of how it feels, how we are um, viewing the situation in our brains. Like, but the truth hurts. Something's done. Something's over. Something came to light. Um, yeah, it's almost like you're trying to move on, but this grief, this situation is preventing you from moving on. And it's almost like in order to get through this, to truly move on, you're going to have to let go of whatever the situation is, because it's packed somewhere on in this journey. Ooh, look at this gorgeous card. I love it. This is listening to your intuition. This is a spiritual download. Meditation might help to allow this stuff to be released. You may want to do a cord cutting. If you just put that in YouTube, there's tons of cord cutting ceremonies. One thing I will say, it's shocking how much this is true, whether you think it's possible or not. But somehow that person knows that you're cutting that cord, and be prepared for them to reach out and to be strong and to have a plan in place. So either block them so that cannot happen, or I would say no is a complete sentence. Just don't even answer. But if you feel like there's some reason you have to answer, make it very clinical, succinct, and do not get sucked in. There was okay. Yeah, so there was a situation where someone was not being honest. But I feel like the shift comes when it goes from looking at that external situation that caused you this Three of Swords feeling. And it doesn't have to be a relationship. It could be any sort of like feelings of betrayal. Um, it moves from sort of that outward, situation to a profoundly, deeply inward spiritual growth that you will cherish and be so happy that it happened, because you'll be in such a different and better place because of it. What was this extra card? The World. I love the World card in this deck. It has a real surrender type vibe. She has her arms open, her heart center up, and she's just like, it's okay. Like, I'm just going to accept it and move forward. So there is a wrapping up here. When the World shows up, there's a phase of our lives, of our life, that is ending and a new one is beginning. Sometimes it's very much just you graduate from college, it's over, and you get a job, whatever. It's just kind of, it's a good, I mean, it's a positive thing, but it's just sort of the way it is. And we look back on our life and we remember things like, that's when I was dating this person. That's when I was living in this situation. That's why I was hanging out with these friends. That's when I was working there. That's, you know, so some sort of situation, phase of your life is coming to an end and you're moving forward. For some of you, it could be you were breaking up with this person. I actually see that for a lot of you Leos. Um, and this could have even been a long time ago, but you're only now, for whatever reason, truly letting go of that baggage and surrendering yourself. Maybe there's, let's pull a couple more cards. Maybe there's a new relationship coming in and you realize you have to, Four of Cups. Someone could have been a drinker or just depressed or emotional. Like this would be a negative cups court card energy where they're just up and down and all about themselves and not always in a good mood, need a lot of quiet, grumpy time. I don't know. Whoops. What's this one? Five of Swords. So Five of Swords is more of a group of people that just don't think the same way. So they could have had a family. The whole family may have been dysfunctional and they weren't able to handle it effectively and it just caused issues in your relationship for some of you. What's this? The Lovers. I do think there's new love coming in. And I do think with this situation, I think you could see if you look back on that situation, the Lovers really is about commitment. And that person just wasn't truly committed to you. Maybe their words said they are committed to you, but their actions and what they committed to, you were rarely first. You know what I mean? It was all about them and what they were going through and how they were feeling, whatever. I feel like they were a drama queen. But I think moving forward, intuitively, there's something new coming in, and this is a true love connection. And you just have to say, okay, I need to let go of what happened in the past and to truly be able to accept what's coming in. And this is a new positive phase coming in. And I'm open to it. And I understand I can't control it. And I'm just going to experience it. And who knows, right? Who knows the possibility? We never really know how a relationship, a job, anything is going to work out without actually giving it a shot. I almost feel like this was in the past, but you're intuitively sensing something that which is to come. And it's the catalyst to really make you sort of deal with and get rid of, metaphorically and even physically, get rid of things that remind you of that negative situation. Like you couldn't look at this person's, you just can't, you can't fix someone else. It's not your fault. It wasn't something you were going to be able to fix. Okay, Leo, that's your reading for July. I hope you have a wonderful month. Take care.